Minecraftian, a Minecraft movie, starts off with Minecraft Steve walking towards a building looking for a job. The building has signs on the front of it that says test subjects are needed. So Steve with his balls of steel says, I'll be a test subject for this experiment I know nothing about. Inside the building are signs with the words immortal, never to be forgotten, everlasting. In other words, the definition of immortal, and an old man. The two don't converse, and the old man leads Steve to the basement of the building, where Steve, giving zero fucks about what he's doing, hops into the bed in the iron chamber, and as the doors close on him, the old man places a sign on the wall stating the date which Steve is expected to be awakened. "5,989 years later, a very precise many years later, let us find out that through the use of very intricate mathematics, Steve entered the chamber in 2011, which then found out that the date could have been found by simply looking at the date the video was published. Some nice Minecraft music starts playing when Steve awakens underground in the far future, to which he has no hesitation after waking up, and starts digging his way out. To my surprise, the Lord of the Rings music starts playing when he finishes digging. Then to Steve's surprise, there's fucking nothing anywhere, and then Steve realizes he got hard debated. Steve goes on to look at a pig like he's never seen one before, and then continues to walk around for the next 3 minutes of the movie doing absolutely nothing, all before going on top of a mountain to get a look at the land. Again, still doing nothing. He stands there until nightfall, as anyone would, which is long enough for a creeper to start creeping up behind him, and for music that sounds like it belongs in a free indie horror game that I saw PewDiePie play in 2012 start playing. Steve sees the creeper and decides that suicide is painless once you're dead and jumps off the mountain instead of getting blown up. Miraculously, Steve doesn't die from jumping off a mountain, which is complete bullshit, and once he lands, he's confronted by a zombie and a skeleton and gets the fuck out of there. Here we learn that Steve is a big pussy and that whoever's playing him is a complete noob at Minecraft and starts digging a hole and waiting in it till morning. Once morning hits, Steve gets out of the ground and Gerudo Valley starts playing from The Legend of Zelda for about 30 seconds before going back to the Lord of the Rings soundtrack. Steve runs around for a bit, gathers resources, and builds a house in a nice little montage. Afterwards, he stands still and stares at the house like he did on the mountain, again waiting for nightfall for some reason. Steve rests up and then a montage of Steve living his life in his new home starts. Keep in mind that Steve is going along with all of this without any hesitation. In this montage, we find out that Steve is running on Minecraft 1.8.1 beta, like Tobuscus in this video. Whilst exploring, Steve finds a cave system. The intro to Lord of the Rings starts playing as he enters it. In the cave, he finds a sign that was placed 2 years before he had awoken on the 9th of December, or the 12th of September, depending on what date format Steve uses. Anyways, 8 more signs after the sign with the date on it, the plot of the story is finally revealed. There were a group of people who stole from an old man, who were then hunted down by his minions, then bitch about him doing so after they just stole from him. They say the old man is immortal, but then give away to kill him. Makes sense. The signs say that the people who stole from the old man stole diamonds, made swords out of them, and that the sword is his weakness, as well as some sand, gunpowder from TNT, and some lava from the nether. They all then die to his minions, which should be weaker than the old man, whilst they have diamond swords. Makes sense. Completely ignoring that whoever wrote the signs died, probably painfully and horribly, Steve sees a diamond, crafts an iron pickaxe, and mines a diamond. Steve turns back around the hallway and walks down to go see the story plot signs, to see 2 diamonds that he missed because he's as blind as Helen Keller. Looks to his left and sees another diamond. Seems they're just appearing everywhere he looks at this point. After collecting the 4 diamonds, Steve sees a dark cave where a creeper emerges from the shadows. Minecraft Steve isn't having any of that shit. He challenges the creeper to a Minecraft PvP 1v1, in which he shits on the creeper, probably because the creeper didn't have a sword. Steve's a cheating cunt. He steals the gunpowder off the creeper's dead body and runs away. Upon leaving the cave, we see the real enemies of the story. Zombie pigmen. Zombie pigmen were surrounding another portal that appeared out of nowhere next to the entrance of the cave that Steve was leaving. Now it seems zombie pigmen may not like the way that Steve's face is like slightly brown or something because they attack him without hitting them first, and the last time I played Minecraft, they didn't do that to me. Steve proceeds to 1v5 the zombie pigmen without armor and with a stone sword, killing all of them. Then one appears out of thin air and pressures him whilst he's half a heart shitting his pants. Suddenly out of nowhere, Wolf attacks the zombie pigman, killing it in one bite. Again, I've never had my dog attack one, but if I did, I'm sure it wouldn't die in one hit. It's a little bullshit. Just saying. Steve completely ignores the fact that the dog just saved his life and enters another portal that the zombie pigmen were surrounding and coming out of. Steve takes a good 5-second look at the nether, leaves immediately, and then mines a single block of the portal, and too bad he didn't craft a diamond pickaxe so he could collect that obsidian, the dumb prick. Steve takes the wolf back to his house to live with him. He smelts iron and gives his wolf some raw meat because fuck cooking the meat for the wolf that just saved your life. That's too much effort for the little shit. Steve crafts an iron helmet, chest plate, and boots. No leggings though, because he was too much of a pussy to stay in the cave and look for more iron. As we found out before, Steve's a pussy. In the montage, Steve takes his wolf out to have a good time with his newfound friend. They look at a lake and the wolf goes for a swim. Steve watches as the wolf massacres the local wildlife, and Steve, wanting in on some of the action, punches a sheep himself. The two frolicked in a field for a while, all before watching the sunset at the end of their day. After this heartwarming montage, Beethoven returns from the dead to perform Moonlight Sonata. Steve and his wolf watch zombie pigmen who have taken over their home. The wolf, without any hesitation, runs straight at the horde of zombie pigmen to kill himself, all because Steve didn't cook that one piece of meat for him. Steve runs away after seeing his home taken and his wolf that he had for literally one day kill himself. Steve looks for a new place to stay for the night after changing the weather using the /weather rain command to fit the mood better. Finds a cave where he sets up a temporary base. Before he rests up for the night, he pulls out the bone that he teases Wolf with for the entire day, which is probably another reason why it killed itself, and reminisce on 8 or 9 minutes they had with each other out of the 10-minute Minecraft day. He then went to sleep, continuing thinking about his wolf through his dreams. Upon waking, Steve wastes no time and throws all his shit on the crafting table because he became retarded whilst he slept and forgot to craft. He then sets out in the rain, stops for a while to get a dramatic look in the water that doesn't reflect anything, continues when it stops raining, which apparently he looked at the water all day because it's nighttime now, and then he stops to look at the moonrise. No wait, never mind, he's still not at his destination, so he starts a fire on a wood log which isn't disappearing after a few seconds like it should, which means that Steve is the filthy cheater. Then he remembers what the signs say after he already crafted what he needed, so really he got lucky that he was crafting what the signs said he needed to craft. Then back to the wolf killing itself, which really shows how much the death of his rent an animal friend for a day plagues his mind and shows how deep the connection was between them. Something catches Steve's eye. The same portal he broke the block on was fixed by someone with a diamond pickaxe who mines some obsidian. Steve sees a single zombie pigman leave the portal and decides to follow it. It leads him to a large tunnel that plays more Lord of the Rings music out of it. He heads down the music-playing tunnel to find a shit ton of nether portals. This means two things. This is the source of where all the zombie pigmen are coming from, and that no one told the old man that you only need one nether portal. Steve and his 900 IQ decides to dig under them to get across the large open area undetected. He reaches the other side using an unenchanted iron pickaxe. At the same time, the camera pans over the floor. Fortunately, after crossing, he finds a door with a sign above it called Portal Power Supply Room, because the people in the cave need to know what room is what, just like an office, so they label every room. Steve walks in, flips the switch, the portal's off, and that's the end of the movie. Well, that's what you would think if you were an idiot. Actually, what happens is Steve finds another room called the suspension chamber. Inside are the same pods that he was put into by the old man at the beginning, and it is at this point that I realize that the old man at the beginning and the one that Steve wants to kill are the same guy. Steve enters the suspension chamber and awakens a test subject that the old man was using. A girl comes out, then the two stare at each other for about 30 seconds. This means that they fell in love. Steve then proceeds to wake up everyone in the other chambers, and then to my surprise, a homeless Tyler 1 comes out of the last chamber. Before getting them out of there, Steve thinks that he should give them a tour of the old man's office for some reason. Steve enters the office, looks around, never lets anyone else inside, then leaves. They continue down the path and up a set of stairs. Tyler 1 tries to follow Steve up the stairs, but Steve turns around being more alpha than Tyler and tells him to back the fuck off before he kills his ass. And Tyler 1, being the beta he is, does turn around. Steve goes up the stairs where Senator Palpatine is waiting for him. Senator Palpatine pulls out an iron sword instead of his electric fingers, and it's pretty clear he's gonna win this fight now. The battle commences and they fight with intense strikes. Simultaneous strike towards each other sends them both flying back. At this point of the story, you should already understand that Steve is a filthy cheater, so Steve pulls out TNT where he runs to Senator Palpatine and blows Senator Palpatine himself up. When Steve dies, all his iron armor pops off his body, and then his body respawns with the iron armor put back on him, and then he dies immediately afterwards, falling into lava below. The group of people Steve saved then proceed to watch the two burn in lava slowly. One guy just didn't give a fuck and wanted to go, so he went ahead and found the exit and told everyone to hurry the fuck up. Everyone immediately leaves with no second thoughts about the man who just died for them. The girl who fell in love with him in that passionate 30 seconds of silence followed after everyone had left, but as you can see, she didn't immediately leave like everyone else, so this shows the depth of the relationship between her and Minecraft Steve. Everyone found their way up to the surface, and homeless Tyler 1 grew a beard in the time it took him to walk up the stairs. Everyone continued forwards together, but the nameless girl who fell in love with Steve looked back down the stairs to finally let go of Steve, after grieving for him for so long. After everyone had been saved, everyone found a village where they then murdered every villager, took their homes and their jobs, and lived a happy life from then on out. The only person that wasn't happy was probably this guy, since he traded an iron sword for 3 gold ingots. What a fucking retard. At the end of the day, everyone watched the sunset together. The next morning, the nameless girl goes to put down a flower in front of some stone bricks. But they aren't actually stone bricks. The camera pans out to show that it's actually a giant statue, Steve with a diamond sword, and it's at this point that I realized that the entire reason why this was made was to show off the statue, which they could have done in a single picture, and not a 41-minute, 57-second movie. The movie ends with a minecart on a railway, going past music blocks that play a song that I can't make out no matter how many times I listen to it, so I just assume it's more Lord of the Rings music that they made in Minecraft. They then showed the server it was recorded on, and I realized that at this point, the point of the video wasn't actually to show off the giant Minecraft Steve statue, but to promote the server, which isn't in the description and also doesn't exist anymore. I give it a fucking 2.